Hi, thanks for watching. Now, a really nice day in astrology today. This is Saturday the 30th of March 2019 and we have an Aquarius moon. Now, that moon came in 6:45 p.m. On the west side of the States and Canada last night, 9:45 p.m. last night east side, and here in UK 1:45 a.m. this morning. The moon entered Aquarius and the moon is sextile the sun. That's the great news today. And that means harmony, balance, and opportunity all working together when the moon is sextile the sun, because the moon is our nearest planetary neighbour and it just works out so nicely. Moon sextile sun, great. The moon is actually 30.1% full at this moment as I speak, which is 8:10 a.m. UK time. Now, times are going to change tomorrow. Sunday the 31st of March, that's when the UK time springs forward. This happened in the States and Canada at the beginning of March. Here it's at the end of March. So the times I'm giving out now are 7 hours behind or 4 hours behind, depending where you are in the States. But tomorrow it goes back to 8 hours and 5 hours. Hope there's no confusion there. There's usually a bit of confusion when the clocks go forward or go back, but it doesn't last very long. I'm up early and I usually know before everybody else, and I'm sitting there at technically kind of 11 o'clock in the morning and people are waking up, so, oh, it's only 10 a.m. So, be up first, make the difference. The early bird catches the worm. That's my tip, because it's a real great time for it. This weekend is looking very good indeed. There's a new moon coming up on Friday the 5th. That's still quite a way off. So the moon at 30.1% full is still giving a lot of energy. It's just that she's in third quarter now. She's less than 50% full, and it's much more about standing on her own 2 feet than actually tuning in for cosmic guidance, because that guidance is always there. It's always real, and it's surprising how effectively it works, whatever the moon is doing. But in terms of actual cosmic significance, this is generally speaking a time of lull as we get down to the new moon, where she becomes 0% full, kind of next Wednesday, Thursday. There's very little energy about. The energy that comes from the moon has everything to do with sunlight shining on the moon and reflecting back to us that way. It's all sun energy, really. It's just conditioned by the moon. And the sun will still be blazing, it'll all still be happening. Just the lunar influence will be quite a lot reduced, greatly reduced, you might say. So where are we at the moment in the general rundown of alignments and things today? Not too much has changed, actually, except that, that moon sextile sun thing makes all the difference. The sun is still square Saturn, so leaders are still likely to face setbacks and challenges. Well, dear me, I hardly ever watch the news, but I have put it on a couple of times in the last week, because we've got something, it's called Brexit, and it's going to make a big difference to Britain, so I've been watching it. But quite honestly, it's absolutely hopeless. I was watching it on CNN last night, and I like it to see it on American media, because the British media always try and skew it. The BBC, which is a wonderful impartial service, actually is paid for by the government, so you tend to find them slanting it towards the way the government likes it. Otherwise the Director General won't get a knighthood at the end of it. That's really what it's all about, vested interests. But the truth is, the truth is whatever the truth is. I could sit here and say what I think the truth is, but the truth will just simply out. It always will. And when I watch on CNN, I really see what's going on, because I'm not seeing a skewed version of it. So there's a theme for today, my friends. Look for the actual real truth. It's not going to be too hard to find because of that moon sextile sun situation. It's really not. But leaders are really going through it at the moment, and I was watching CNN, and I think it was Anderson Cooper was talking about it, and it was just ridiculous the way they were arguing. You can see that the Speaker of the House, John Bercow, you can see he must have been blind drunk at like less than an hour before he made that, because his face is so red and he sounds really drunk. And fiddling while Rome burns, that's what politicians do. They're never going to stop doing that. It's a gravy train. That's a fact of life. We live in this life, we live in the real world. Stay grounded, stay on top of it, friends, because Mercury is conjunct Neptune. And that is going to mean imaginative talk, people actually planning the future, vision questing, you almost might say. It doesn't actually say that in the thing I'm looking at here. But basically, yeah, have that vision, have that belief that the vision can happen. Because it can. I've seen amazing things happen to me that I envisaged and hoped for and prayed for. And they actually happened when I would never have believed it possible. I really, wouldn't have thought some of these things are possible that have happened. But they do happen. Good things do come. We've just got to believe that it's possible. And so even if you take yourself completely out of any spiritual view of things, supposing kind of there's a good job coming up. Well, if you don't believe you could ever do that job, you're not even going to apply for it, are you? So you're not going to get it. And this is the thing about positive thinking. It's not just about God and angels. Well, it is in so many ways, but that whole God and angels thing is all meant to relate to real life. It's all meant to be about keeping it real because they are real. Those influences are real. Everybody knows it. Even people who don't believe in it will grab hold of their Christian cross if they think their car's going to crash or something. That's the way it is. I've got one on as well. Never quite get away with that. I'm sort of hedging my bets, There we go. Mercury conjunct Neptune, and of course Mercury is not retrograde anymore, and that is what gets us thinking about the future. It also helps us to find some kind of insight into things, which allows closure over things that have been concerning us for any length of time. Venus conjunct Mercury. Again, friendly discourse, creative expression, good time for deals, mergers, that kind of thing. A progress in human relations as well, because it's just that much more friendly than usual. Mars is void in Taurus. Now, this can mean that some people will do things that will make other people panic and freak out and get worried about it. Basically, it's about running risks that favour one person over many people, and it's about in a sense it's about selfishness, not just that, but it's about really putting the narrow picture first. It's short-term thinking when it goes like that, and we need to think long-term, so do be aware of that. Jupiter is void in Sagittarius, so there's a lot of moral, legal arguments going on, that kind of thing. Most certainly, no escape from that because that's human nature. But keeping it real, the moon sextile the sun, it's going to be a great day. I'll be along soon with a forecast for next week, but meanwhile, friends, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.